Hi everyone and welcome to Book Boop. My name is Rachel and today I'm going to talk about all the books that I'm hoping to read in the month of September. I'm really excited about this TBR because I'm going to be taking part in G's Magical Readathon over at the channel Book Roast. She has created a brand new Magical Readathon. Originally it was created to be modeled after Hogwarts and Harry Potter, but she decided she wanted to create a brand new readathon, still having a magical school type focus. But not only did she create a brand new magic school, she also created a brand new world. I think the world is called Orilium. I may be wrong about that. I know that the magic school is called Orilium Academy, so I don't remember if the whole entire world is called Orilium. But she created this whole world with all these different countries, all these different nationalities, all these different people groups. You create your own character. It's really complicated and so fancy, and I'm so excited. She created maps and all of this stuff. I will definitely link down her announcement video down below in the description if you want to take a look at it. It is absolutely incredible, and I'm really excited to take part in it. I have got my TBR ready for this. I used all the prompts, and I am extremely pumped. This is going to be a little bit different, I think, a lead up to the magic school because we're going on what is called the Novice Path, which is this entire path that she created. I've got a map that I set up within my journal here. So she actually created this whole map, and you go on this path to get to the Orilium Academy. So it's this whole journey we have to take to be able to get to the magic school. And our first semester for the magic school will be in April of 2022. So this is going to be the novice path that I am taking, and I am so stinking excited. If you can't read this here, it says the novice path awaits your mind. Your pride and greed must stay behind. Now walk the trails, play the part to help unearth those pure of heart. So I am very excited about this. Let me go ahead and read the description, A Traveler's Key. I also have this printed out here and put it in my journal. I stained these all with coffee so they all looked really old. This says, to prove yourself on the path, you must showcase exceptional skill or wit on at least 2 occasions, meaning that out of the challenges listed, you must complete 2 prompts to successfully reach the Orilium Academy. Of course, if you have the wish or capacity, you can always aim for more. Each prompt requires a separate book. The Novice Path journey ends at midnight, September 30th. So there are a total of 7 prompts or 7 different kind of stops along the trail to get to the Orilium Academy. I am wanting to do all 7. I only have to finish 2 to be able to complete the trail, but I wanted to do all 7 because I thought it'd be a lot of fun. Something that I'm not doing right now is I actually have not created a character yet. I've got my little character creator key right here and I haven't filled any of it out. I actually have until April to create the character key, and there's some prompts you have to fulfill to be able to fill in your background of your character, the province your character's from, and what heritage your character has. And so for right now, I'm going to just do that at a later point, which I can do. Again, I have until, yes, April 2022. So I'm just going to complete the trail and all the trials to get to the Orilium Academy in September. So all that explanation aside, let's go ahead and jump into what books I'm going to be reading. So the first prompt is the Novice Path entrance. Read a book with a map. So this one is actually a little hard for me to find at first because all the books that I currently own that are on my TBR cart that I haven't read yet, none of them really have any maps in them. So I had to kind of hunt around on the list of books I wanted to read on Goodreads and try to figure out which ones actually had maps in it. And this one I'm really excited about because it's a very popular middle grade and I've heard it's really incredible. And it's called A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison. I will be reading this on my Kindle. And all I know about this story is we are following 3 sisters who are dealing with a curse in their family to where they have to always stay on this island. They can't ever leave, and the girls go on a quest to be able to break the curse. That's all I know about it, but I've heard it's very magical and whimsical and lovely, and I'm really excited to read it. And it does have a map in the beginning of the book. I made sure to look up and find that it does, and it does. So yay, it's got a map. All right, next prompt. The Ashtorn Tree, a book that keeps tempting you, or that's at the top of your TBR. Let me see which one I picked for that. That is, yes. This one I'm so excited about is a recent release, and it's perfect for spooky season, and it's called The Perfect Place to Die by Bryce Moore. The reason I'm so excited about this book is that it's supposed to be a mashup feeling of Stalking Jack the Ripper and Devil in the White City. Sounds amazing, I know, right? So in this story, we're following a woman in the early 1890s, and it's during the Chicago World's Fair. This woman's sister, she went to Chicago and ended up working at a place called the Castle. It was a hotel that's near the World's Fair, and her sister went missing. So she ends up traveling to Chicago to see if she can find out what happened to her sister, and she ends up getting a job at the same hotel to try to see if she can investigate and find out what happened to her. Now, of course, if we know our history, one of the most notorious serial killers in history owned and ran this hotel, and he specifically built this hotel to murder people. That's a very, very special kind of broken person right there. But it's such a fascinating time in history, and it's so stinking creepy, and I'm really, really excited about this. I think it's going to be really spooky and fascinating. It's like a mix of paranormally kind of feel, but it's also historical fiction, and I think it's going to be so much fun. So I'm very pumped about it, and it's one that is definitely at the top of my TBR, and I'm really, really excited to read. All right, next one is The Mist of Solitude, read a standalone. And for this one, I picked The Year of Shadows by Claire Legrand. This is one I've had on my TBR cart for a very long time. It is a middle grade, and it looks absolutely perfect for me because it is a spooky paranormal middle grade. You can see some nice little ghosts back there. So we are following this little girl, and her father runs a failing orchestra, and because money is tight, her father, herself, and her grandmother end up moving into an old concert hall. And unfortunately, this concert hall is due to be, I think, torn down in the near future because it isn't doing well. But this girl finds out that this concert hall is actually haunted by 4 ghosts, and these ghosts desperately want her help because if this concert hall is torn down with them in it, then they will forever be trapped as ghosts and never be able to move on. So I'm very excited about this one. It sounds like it's going to be spooky, but maybe kind of heartwarming at the same time. Maybe have some ghosts that we get to know and some friendships. And it says like she has an ornery cat, which sounds adorable. So I'm very excited about this one. I think it's going to be spooky and heartwarming and fun and absolutely perfect for going into the fall and the spooky season. So I'm very excited to finally get to that one because I've had it for quite a long time. Next, we have Ruin of the Sky. Read a book featuring ghosts or a haunted house or other supernatural elements. So the perfect one for this one, again, is another book I've had on my TBR cart for the long time, and I really, really want to get to it this spooky season, and that is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I adore the format of this book. It is incredible. If this looks like an IKEA catalog, that's purposeful. It's supposed to look like one. It is about a haunted furniture store that looks like an IKEA. And the whole book is made to look like an IKEA catalog. And I am so for it. It's going to be so fun. I think it's just supposed to be about basically just a haunted store. And it sounds absolutely perfect. And I love the look of this. You're looking at this and it looks kind of like catalog cutesy, but then there's like really spooky faces in the hands. And if you turn it over in the back, it looks all spooky and falling apart, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really, really excited about this one. So yes, this one's going to be perfect for a haunted house prompt. It's just a haunted store, so same difference. It's close enough, right? All right, after that, next in our travels are the Obsidian Falls. Read a thriller or a mystery book. And this one, I think, is a mix of mystery and maybe slightly thriller. It's called The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell, and I've had this one again for a long time as well. It's a nice short little adult read, and I think it's a mix between a mystery and a thriller. So in this story, we are following this young woman in, I don't know what the time period is, but I think it's pretty far in the past. She was recently married and now newly widowed. She is pregnant with her husband's child, and she ends up moving into this old crumbling estate that was her husband's, and she's going to be staying there throughout her pregnancy. And while she's there and she's mourning the loss of her husband, she's also living with her husband's cousin, who's a little bit of a strange person, and it's this big creepy house. And one day she ends up stumbling upon this room in the house that has a silent companion in it, which I guess is something that was like a thing back in the day. It's basically like this stand-up of a person, and I guess it was someone for you to be able to like talk to or feel like you had someone nearby. I don't know. But what's creepy is that the silent companion is made to look exactly like her, which is weird. And a lot of the people that live and work within this manor are creeped out by it. And she's like, oh, you all are just being superstitious. It's a little weird, but it's not that weird. Except for the fact that the eyes start to move. So I don't know if this is like a haunted giant stand-up doll or what. I don't know. It sounds really creepy and really fun, and I'm kind of excited about it. And I think it's going to be like this person back here says it's kind of like a gothic fiction. So I think it's going to have a nice gothic feels, maybe a little spooky, a little mystery. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm pumped about this. I think it's going to be a good time. It's going to be fun. My goodness. I'm so excited about this TBR. I have so many books on here that I'm really excited about. And most of them are spooky, and that's exactly what I want. All right, got 2 more prompts here. The Tower of Rumination. Read a 5-star prediction. So this was a book that I had originally planned to read in August, and I didn't get a chance to get to it, and it's one of my most anticipated reads of 2021. But this fits perfectly within this prompt because this person's last book was one of my favorites of 2020, and so I'm hoping this one will also be a favorite too, and that is Small Favors by Erin A. Craig. I've talked about this one several times already, and again, this is one I had planned to read in August, didn't be able to get to. This story is about a small town that is very isolated. It's surrounded by a forest. People don't normally kind of come and leave from the town all that much, but part of the forest is kind of spooky because I think there are some creatures that live in this forest, and the people have kind of avoided going into the forest because of these creatures. And it's kind of gotten to the point where now the creatures haven't been seen in a while, and they're kind of considered more of a legend than anything else until the creatures start to reappear again and kind of like become a problem for this town. I don't know much else than that. I know that's not a fantastic description. I kind of want to go into it not knowing a whole lot, but I love small town settings. I loved Erin A. Craig's retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, which was a House of Salt and Sorrows. I loved it. It was so spooky and atmospheric and gothic, and it was peak. It was awesome. So I'm really excited to read this one and see what I think about it. So this one I think and I hope might be a 5-star prediction. So I really, really hope it is. All right, so I've got one more prompt here, and that is the Orilium Academy arc. Book with a school setting. So this is when I finally arrived at the Orilium Academy, and this one sounded perfect for a school setting. It is a new release as well. It's called The Mary Shelley Club by Goldie Modolfsky. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. This one is definitely set in a school setting. We are following a girl who has just started going to this, I think, all-girl academy, or it's like a private school. And she goes there and she's having trouble making friends, and she ends up kind of stumbling upon a prank gone awry, and she ends up catching the attention of this exclusive kind of secret club at the school called the Mary Shelley Club, and she ends up becoming involved in this club. And the main thing that this club really, really wants to do is to create a prank that ends up creating real terror for people, to actually terrify people. And so they're trying to come up with this prank, and I think the pranks keep escalating, and it just gets real dark real quick. So I think it's going to be really spooky and atmospheric and have this dark academia feel. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This is again a new release, and I'm really excited to read it. It was one of my anticipated releases for this year, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun to read. So as you can tell, most of the books I chose, I think with the exception of the very first book, A Pinch of Magic, all the rest of them are paranormal or spooky in some form or fashion, which is just my jam. I love it. So I'm really excited to do all these. I am such a checklist person, which is why I do TBRs in the first place, because I enjoy checking off TBRs off my list. But the fact that on top of that now I have prompts to fulfill to be able to go through this journey now creates another layer of satisfaction for me. So I am so pumped to take part in this. I'm so pumped for the future readathons within this whole readathon and building the characters and building the world. and I think it's going to be so much fun. So I am pumped. Again, I will link down her announcement video down below about this readathon. Please let me know if you are also taking part. I would love to know what prompts you're wanting to fulfill, what books you're using for which prompts. I would really love to know. So if you're taking part in this readathon, please let me know down below. I would love to hear all about it. On this side of the video over here is a link to be able to subscribe to my channel, and please do. I would love for you to be a part of the BookBoop family. On this side of the video over here is a suggestion for another video if you would like to try another one right now. But thank you so much for watching. You rock, and don't forget to keep reading. Bye!